So, part two to my stories. Watch the last part if you'd like to. It talks about Wednesday, but today was Thursday. This is where I had my interview. So my interview was on Oceanside. I had to get there at 10 a.m. So it was a little, I would say early in the morning, but I've never been to Oceanside that early, let's put it that way. And there's a little bit of traffic, but I left early to get there like early so I could like study up, right? Now, this interview. So I don't know if I ever talked about this, but it's a store that sells like witchcraft and apothecary items, so like fucking incense and like crystals and shit like that. And obviously I don't know anything about that, but I prepped the day before on Wednesday. So like I had my resume printed out, I had like some information looked up, and I also, because the position was for like their social media to like run it and like make videos, like edit shit. So I also came up with like 10 different, or I think 12 different ideas that I wrote down and I printed out for them. And then, yeah, I showed up to the place at 9:30, was studying for a little bit on like apothecary shit, just to get it in my head. And the interview starts, and it was a group interview. And I didn't know what a group interview was until I got there. They literally pit you against the other fucking applicants, which like, I was kind of like, okay. But also I was kind of like, okay. Like I was down. Like I said, I was fucking prepared for this, right? So I sit down. I thought I was going to do an interview with the owner, but no, they have a hiring manager, and she was super cool. Her name was, I don't want to say her name. I don't know why I would say her name, but she was cool. And there's another guy who also did stuff that was important. So it was two people interviewing me, and they asked like the standard questions, like, what's your name? What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, do you have a resume on you? And the guy next to me, who was super fucking cool, by the way, but the guy next to me, he's like, yeah, I have a link to it. I can send it to you. And they're like, okay. And they're like, Andrew, do you have a resume? And I'm like, yeah. And I pull up my fucking portfolio. Boom, resume. Like I came prepared. I had that shit printed out, right? And then they're like, okay, cool. And then they were asking me questions like, what do you do? And I was like, I can literally do everything at my skill set. I'm like a jack of all trades. I can edit audio, video, blah, blah. Like I'm flexing myself, right? I prepared this shit. I was flexing myself and my skills, which I do obviously have. That's a weird way to say it, but whatever, right? And then at some point I was talking about like, I'm really good at coming up with ideas, cause like I'm an idea guy, I guess. And they were like, oh, what kind of ideas would you have in mind? Like I mentioned, I printed out some fucking ideas. I opened my shit, my little folder, and I pulled out the paper and I went, bam, 12 ideas that I came up with just for you guys. And they were reading it and they were like, wow, these are really good. And I'm like, thank you. And the guy was joking. She's like, oh, she's probably going to steal those. And I'm like, it's okay. I come up with more ideas all the time. And I'm like, bam! Like, I'm fucking killing this shit. I am fucking killing this goddamn interview. I'm doing fucking fantastic, in my opinion. And then, like, the interview goes on, and we go back and forth. And the funny thing about the guy who was interviewing with me, we were, like, complete opposites, right? So they want to do live streams on Friday, and I know, like, a little bit about live streams, not, like, a lot, but this guy does, like, full live stream productions. Like, he'll go to, like, concerts and have, like, 6 fucking cameras all going in the one feed, doing it live. And it's, like, that's insane. I've only done that, like, once, but it wasn't even live. It was, like, recorded. So I thought that was super cool. And then, like, but yeah, we were opposites, right? So he's like, I do everything else. He does like the live stream stuff. So it was cool to see, I guess. And then like they show us their like editing room and like their video production room. They're like, do you have any ideas about the space? And then at some point they were like, we might have to do like 2 different positions. And I like, cause I'm a bro, I'm like, I would love to work with him, like learn from him, and I could probably teach him a few things. But yeah, the interview ended. I was super confident. I went to get Wendy's after, cause like Wendy's is fucking delicious. And I go home and I'm feeling good, right? I've waited a couple of days, probably like a couple of days, right? I was happy. I was confident. I was like, oh, I was literally like, I talked about it before, but like sometimes I get like too overexcited that like, I like start like picturing myself in a role. And like, I was picturing myself in this job, in this role, right? I had ideas already. I was thinking of new ideas already. I was like imagining myself waking up every morning and like going to work. And I was already scheduling my days to like fit in my other freelance work. It was only part-time, right? It was part-time, like 15 to 30 hours a week, but they wanted to make me like a full-time, like W-2 employee instead of freelance, which I was okay with, right? So I was already picturing, I was super excited. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I already got this job. And like my morale was at the all-time high that I've since starting to apply for jobs last year. And then Monday, I'm checking my emails and I get an email from Indeed, which is where I applied from. I got a message and they were like, I from the company, and it was like, hey Andrew, thank you for applying. We were really impressed with your resume and your skills showcase. And I'm like, okay. And then it said, unfortunately, we found someone else who we thought was a better fit for our role. Blah, 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 blah. But we will keep you in mind for future consideration, whatever, right? And I was like, fuck, bro. Like, I did the thing that I know I always fucking do, where I get way too overconfident, and I start imagining, and I overhype myself, and I was like, fuck, bro. That was genuinely the closest I've been to getting hired for this, for the role I'm looking for like the fucking anything video production related, right? And I really wanted this job too, because it's like something that I could actually like be creative in instead of just like getting footage sent and working on it. I'm the one actually doing it. And I was like super excited for it, and I didn't get it. And like, that's fine. It's life, right? Obviously I'm not gonna like fucking be like, why the fuck would you not pick me? I messaged them and I was like, thank you for your consideration. And I also, like I said, I really appreciate you letting me know, because I would rather you tell me I didn't make it than like leave me on red like the other fucking interview I did, where it's been like 3 weeks and they never replied to me. So yeah, I was bummed. I was bummed at myself, but I know it wasn't really my fault. I know I put up a really good showing. I was proud of what I did. I looked good. I was prepared. I was ready. I don't think I could have done anything more to get that job. The part of my arrogant side was like, who the fuck could be better than me? You know what I mean? Like, the only thing, the way I was thinking was like, the only way someone could have gotten this job over me is if they are better at live streaming than me, and can do everything else I can do, which is like fair, I guess. And obviously I'm not like the only person who can do what I can do. But the other thing I was thinking is like, maybe they actually know witchcraft stuff, which would like be a big benefit for that job, obviously. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter, right? I didn't get the job. I have to go back and pivot to looking for more jobs. But it's a bummer starting back from ground zero again, because I didn't apply for a job for like a fucking week because I thought I had this in the bag, and I didn't. So now I'm going back to applying for stuff again, back to ground zero. My morale went from fucking high as it's been to like fucking rock bottom in the span of like a couple days. So yeah, it sucks. It fucking sucks. So if you're going through the whole job search thing, I hope you can relate. So yeah, but like I said though, I'm no hate to the company. They're fucking great. I would love, like, if they come back in like a month and like, hey, we need you to work there, I would love to, right? No shade for them. I'm not saying anything bad about them. Go shop at them at this point, honestly. They're called, I don't want to say their name, but whatever. They're Moonlight and Sage. Go, they're super cool people. So like, I'm no hate whatsoever. I'm just bummed. I'm just bummed. So let that be a lesson, that, I don't know what the lesson is. Maybe the lesson can be like, stop trying to be the best and just stop trying to be the best at something and just aim to be better at it. That's today's lesson. I just made that up right now. That was kind of good, actually. I write that down for a script. But yeah, that was my week this week. And last week, I guess, because this week, you know what I mean, whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna go out there and get another job. I'm gonna find a fucking job, because I goddamn need it. I'm gonna fucking find a job. I'm putting it out there. Good vibes, good energy. We're going into 2025 in a career field fucking job. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye.